I'm really excited about this conversation because we're going to talk about dating our businesses and all the other good stuff that comes with being magnetic. So, welcome.
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
So, in our doing some research because this is our first meeting, you had the statement that was on your website all over the place. It's like dating your business. What exactly does dating your business mean? Because we all love that new dating feeling, and I do not see that in my business very often.
Yeah, so today I was recording a piece of content that goes on one of my new products, and I was sharing that is called Your Fabulous Niche. That's the name of the digital product. And I was talking about love in business. And I think that love is an extraordinary force that can really turn things upside down. So, regarding business, how can we apply love to business? And this also goes with money, not just with business. So, yeah, we usually think that the business is just a legal entity. And sometimes when we do not have yet maybe an LLC, an LTD, whatever we have in the part of the world that we are in, we do not even think about the business as a legal entity, but actually the business is an entity. And what I found out over time is that our businesses have their own personality, their own character, their own goals, preferences. And sometimes if we do not lead the business leads us. And being, I see you nodding. So, being the business an entity, I would prefer to consider it something that I can love, that I can forget about, that I can hate, that something that I can treat exactly the same way I would treat anything else who could be more animate than just what a business could be. And we forget that the business should be something or someone, if we want to give it a little bit more of an interesting something or someone that we could actually build a relationship with. And when we have a friend, when we have a child, when we have a partner, business partner, a life partner, what we really wanted to pay attention to is to build a healthy relationship, a sustainable relationship, something that can really be a long-lasting way of interacting with each other, contributing to each other. So sometimes when I start working with new entrepreneurs, with new clients who are female entrepreneurs usually, and I ask them, what do you do to love your business? They look at me with what are you saying? What is this weird thing that you are saying? I mean, I ask them, so imagine that you are going out with your business on a date. And so during that date, what would you think about your business? So think about your business right now and imagine that you are on a date. What would you think about your business? That it doesn't work, that it is not enough, that there is too much to do, that, oh my God, no, again. So those are usually, the thoughts that we have, especially when we wanted to start working with a new business owner, a business coach, business mentor, or whatever. But actually, it's not the business that needs to be fixed. It's not us that needed to be fixed. What needs to be fixed is just the relationship. So what goes on between the two elements, the business, we and the business, or the business and us. And so they have this, oh yes, oh, I have never thought about that. So what would it be? So this also removes a lot of pressure that usually we have, on the business because we want so much out of the business, and we do not realize that the business might want to have something from us as well. And this is something that happens always in every relationship that we want to be healthy. Yeah.
Wow. I'm like, okay, my brain is spinning because that question of, okay, sitting on a date with my business right now, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, can I exit stage left? Is this one of those moments that I could go to the bathroom and go out the back door? Because, and I hate to say that because I love what I do, but like some of the things that you're saying, I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get why we need to start looking at our business as this like living human being because it is an extension of us.
Yeah, most of the time it is an extension of us, especially when we are at the very early stages, or when we do not have a proper team yet. So we might still be freelancers or solopreneurs or even entrepreneurs, but maybe we are still under the 100K mark, but also maybe around 50K, and we do not have maybe the courage to start having someone helping us out. And so, yeah, we have to be very careful in terms of energy, because otherwise we might end up being, having this complaining attitude, or we might get bored, as you were mentioning. And especially when you want to scale the business, and when you wanted to scale it and to accelerate the scaling process, what happens is that you have to put in place very repetitive tasks, very repetitive strategies, and especially if you are in the online environment. So there is not much fantasy, there is not much, creativity to some extent, if I am allowed to say that. And so we can get bored very frequently. So we need absolutely to find a way to keep, the interest, the engagement, the intimacy with the business going. Otherwise, this kind of, again, oh no, oh, okay. It's not beneficial. And also our clients get it's not really a stuckness. It's like a repetitive pattern that we find ourselves in. And we should have a little bit of spicy thing.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many things. And with the spice and like you mentioned energy. So when you first started like sharing this was like the energy. And I think that I know this happens for me, and I'm sure, and I've seen it happen in my clients. I've seen it happen with fellow podcasters and coaches, is that energy we get so stuck. And it's just like a relationship. And I'm like, I love this analogy and how you're relating it because now it's like, oh, I get this. Like this makes sense as that relationship gets kind of stagnant and we start to resent it. So how can we add that little bit of spicy back?
Yeah, also for sure, the most relevant thing that we can think about or that we can do is to gain awareness. I mean, awareness, it's the magic word. If we are not aware, it's impossible for us to change anything. And so first thing first, being aware, becoming aware. And it might be sometimes challenging to become aware of things that we would prefer to hide under the rug. But at the end of the day, especially when we are coaches, we should be a leading example for others. And so usually the bar of courage or of daring should be a little bit higher, set, a little bit higher than for other kind of business service-based businesses and or other product-based businesses. So first, awareness. So in order to get awareness, we need to gain clarity. And when we have clarity, then we can identify exactly what is the missing piece, or what is the piece that we need to tweak. So, for instance, it might be, I don't know, this is just something that comes to mind. It might be that we needed to tweak a little bit the message that we sent out there. Maybe we wanted to revise our I help statement. Maybe we wanted to gain a little bit more of clarity around how we introduce ourselves every day, okay, because it's an everyday thing. And we wanted to highlight the more interesting aspects of us as business owners and of our business. Because at the end of the day, and I think that you can relate to that, and probably all of your audience can relate to that, at the end of the day, what we want is that is to provide an awesome service to our clients. But if we do not, take care of those small details, it might be kind of difficult to engage with the clients. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, I see it in myself and in my journey that, engaging with the clients when you're frustrated with the business, it's like, I don't know. I kind of call it like magnetic. When I'm excited and when I'm, in that spiciness, as you call it, people just kind of flow in. But when I'm frustrated and want to exit stage left, man, I can't get one person to pay attention at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And building on what you are saying, I would like to point out that when we are in that, low flow of energy and we complain about the business, or we point our finger at the business, and we think, or we even say maybe out loud to other people, oh, the business is not going, the business is not working, the business here, the business there. I mean, we should be 100% responsible, being the owner of the business, of what we put out there, our energy included. So in my opinion, it might be definitely much more empowering to say, you know what, today I'm not working. You know what, I take 1 week off, because that's what I wanted to do. In my opinion, this is much more beneficial to ourselves, to the business, to the flow of money, and to what we provide to our clients. Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think I know for me, again, because I can say that it's for my clients and for myself, because I'll raise my hand with everybody, is that when you're working for yourself, that I need the day off, but we put there's so much pressure. And I think it's part of what we see online. What we hear from most coaches is it's like hustle, hustle, hustle. Don't take time off. You won't get to that next level. You won't hit that elusive, 6-figure business if you aren't working your business every day. And how you're relating it to dating, that doesn't work for relationships at all. You can't just push and push and push, because it's going to break. And it just, like, this conversation has dawned on me, like, this is why so many failed. This is why this is like my 5th business in the last 7 years, because I pushed so hard. That power of I need a break, I'm taking some time off, and allowing it to be that without it burning down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we are the leading pillar. If we do not show up, nothing is going to happen. And so I think that it's so imperative that we give ourselves permission to, to have a day off, a week off, to say, no, today it's not going to work, or to postpone maybe a meeting with a client. Because I don't know, so I have been in business for 27 years so far as an entrepreneur, and I'm almost 54 years old. Probably when we go live, I will already be 54, because
Well, happy birthday early.
Yeah, my birthday is the 28th of April. And I have been in the coaching industry for 17 years. I have founded 10 businesses, more than 10 businesses globally so far. So I think that I have a little bit of taste of what it looks like. And I think that I have already served, thousands of entrepreneurs or CEOs or their teams, whatever. So what I do not see working, because it is not sustainable, especially for a small business owner, is to push. We should absolutely stop doing that. We should learn how to pull, not how to push.
So what do you mean by pull? Because I've never
So
heard that before.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, this is something that I have taught for many, many years when I was coaching and training leaders in big organizations such as Fortune 500 or, those big organizations or corporate America and so on and so forth. So when you are a leader and you have, your team and you lead them, it is exactly the same than when you are the business owner of your business, because this is another mindset thing that most entrepreneurs do not think about. We are leaders. Before being entrepreneurs, we are leaders. And this is so vital to remind everyone. So when you are a leader, your superpower is to understand the environment that is everything that is outside, of you. It could be, the physical environment. It could be what is going on with your team. It could be what is going on with your business in case you are a business owner. And then use a way to interact and have a relationship with all the things that are out there that bring them to you, not you chasing them. So this is what I mean. So the pulling energy, it is what we have when we are magnetic, when we are attractive, when something in us, in the way we show up, in the message that we convey is catchy, okay? And so this is what pulling is about. When we push, first, it is exhausting. It is exhausting, okay? And if I chase a cat, the cat runs away, okay? So it is exactly the same thing. This is a law of nature. Everything you chase something or someone, they're running away, unless they want to be caught. But this is another story. And usually doesn't happen. And it is coercitive. It really doesn't work with the business.
So how do we become that more magnetic where, like you're talking about animals. All right. So when I want my dog to come, I bust out her favorite treat. Like, how do we do that in our business? Like, what is that treat that brings them back to us?
Exactly. So the main, let's say, mistake that I see business owners do is that they create magnificent offers. They have wonderful products and so on and so forth, but they do not have the right audience yet, or they might not have an audience yet. Okay, so the point is, if you do not have the audience, how can you know what their interest is? Because this is a very well-known thing. People buy from people what they are interested in. They do not buy from people what they are told to buy. Just to be very, very clear and straightforward. Okay. So what we wanted to do, absolutely, is to take time that seems to be so rare nowadays, especially on the online space. We wanted to take time to meet at least halfway our audience and learn from them what they like, what they need, what they love, what would engage them, what their interest is, so that they very spontaneously and genuinely tell us what they need. And of course, if we are the right match, it is so, so easy to co-create. This is another keyword, and offer a product, a service, a membership, whatever it is, that really, really, really matches the needs of our audience. And when that happens, then we do not just have an audience, we have raving fans, okay? And we become their rock star.
Oh, I'm like, that is so, yeah. I'm like, I want to be a rock star where people are showing up. And I know that you're supporting people finding that clarity of being the rock star in their niche. So can tell me a little bit about like your business and how you're empowering people to like step in so we can make the money. Because I know you're somebody that helps people make those big impacts. You're
Yeah.
like me. You don't want to work with those little people that want the ripples. We're coming in with the tsunamis.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, there is this proprietary framework that I utilize and that I have created, and it is on three different pillars. So the first pillar is all around activating the manifesting muscles. The second one is about setting up a business that can easily hit 100K. The third one is to call in your raving fans. And to chunk all those three pillars down, the first one is about mindset, energy set, and emotion set. The second one is system, structure, and strategy. The third one is thought leadership, building a dream team alliance that is basically building your rockstar team. And the third one is, calling in your raving fans. Yeah. And so this is the framework that I utilize. It depends where the business owner that I'm working with is. And according to that, we co-create more of one piece or the other. Yeah.
And I know because I kind of, like I said, I did some research before that you do a lot of teaching on YouTube. Can you tell us a little bit about like what is your favorite thing and what YouTube, like what's your YouTube channel so that we can find it? And of course, I'll put everything in the show notes, but I know that, this topic gets, you know, the way that you just explained it, these pillars, I think we do a lot of these things backwards. And I love the order that you have your three-part framework in to make it to that first 100K. And we know that's not the end, but we have to set it up. So can you tell us a little bit about like all the things? Because there's so much that you're giving to the world to help and to get to know you and to reach these next levels. We've got to know like where are all the things that we can get in touch and hang out with you?
Okay. So I have an amazing community on Facebook that is called Wealthier Women Entrepreneurs. And I'm basically always there. So apart from when I'm sleeping, otherwise you can find me there. And yes, I have my YouTube channel and I am on LinkedIn as well. I haven't been so present on LinkedIn in the past 2 months because my team and I were working on a product, a new digital course that we just released yesterday. We started the launch, and
What's that? What's the lounge?
It is called Get Qualified Leads Now. I think it says everything just with the title. So Get Qualified Leads Now is our new product. And we have been working on that for a couple of months. And now it has been released and we are already welcoming and onboarding the new students. So we are so excited. Yeah, I think that the best place to find me is definitely the Wealthier Women Entrepreneurs community. Otherwise, yes, on my YouTube channel. Yeah, that is Luisa Ferrario. That's it, my name and surname. So nothing fancy, just me.
No, I think that's great. And I want to know more about the lounge because I'm like, that sounds like a place you've got this wealthy, like wealthier, what did you call it? I already blew it. I'm like the
Wealthier,
wealthy leader.
wealthier. Yeah, wealthier women entrepreneurs.
I'll get there, I promise. But I want to know more about like nurturing this community and building this up because I think this is a huge role that, like we're talking about being magnetic, we're talking about dating our businesses, but I think that the community you're around is also a huge aspect of this. And finding somebody that you can like come in, be part of a community. I think this is so important.
It is so important, absolutely, because belonging is one of the main pieces of what happens when we go very well along with our business, for instance. And so, one of the most amazing things that happened in over the past 4 months is that we grew the community from zero to, I think, almost 2,300 people in 14 weeks.
Can we just like
Yes.
mic drop right there? Because that is unheard of right now with Facebook. Like I have not seen anybody else grow that fast. So like mic drop, ring in the celebration bell. All right, we need to be in your community. We got this.
Yes, I think it is beneficial because at least you can, apart from the beauty of being in the community, because there are so many amazing women, but you can also observe how things work, and so then you can replicate them. So we had this huge growth that has been done with heart and love and gratitude and pulling the energy and just that. So, in terms of what I see happening, especially in the online environment, is that, again, we do not take the time to stop for a while and ask around what is going on and what people really like, what people really want. For instance, I ask in my community about 3 different pain points, challenges, what they are going through, basically, because I wanted to know them. I mean, I want to be there for them, and they see me much less than how much I see them, because I'm not the queen of the community. It is exactly the opposite. I have created the space for them to show up, glow up, and grow. And I think that this is the power of what we have been doing in the past 4 months, because we started the community the 9th of January. So it's not even 4 months, basically. And so what happened? Yeah, what happened was this amazing growth, and I asked them how I could support them. And so, because after 25 years, 27 years as an entrepreneur, you can imagine how many things I could pass them, I could teach them, I could offer them, also as a free value. And so I asked them what kind of ABC they were looking for. And 90% of them gave me the same answer. And so we have created something that they really need, something that they are looking forward, something that they really wanted, something that will be absolutely mind-blowing for them to have and game-changing for their business to have. So, and that's it. Yeah.
And what was that number one thing that they wanted?
Qualified leads. And that's the reason we created the Get Qualified Leads now. Yeah.
Oh,
And this is also the reason why we gave the product this very straightforward and simple name that is not fancy at all. It is just what it is, because the juice is the inside. We are not interested in having the fanciness on the outside. We just want people to understand what the package is, and then if they say yes because they need it, then they will find the wonderland in the inside.
oh, I'm like, that just confirms so much to me because this is something I see in my business because I've held on to these cutesy names like feed your business with love. what the heck does that even mean? I know
Yeah.
what it means, but the fact that I have to qualify it every time I talk about it, and I think that that's a great point. And I love that you're like, no, this is what you need. We're going to give that outwardly so you can find it. And then the back end, I'll give you all the things that I, like pour in that fancy, the cute, the whatever you want to call it. Thank you. I needed to hear that. And I know many of my audience needs to hear that because we need to, if we're going to rebrand, if we're going to start something, you asked the community, you created a community, you listened, and then you gave them exactly what they wanted in a clear, precise way instead of trying to create these cute, I hate to call them cute, like these fancy taglines and stuff. Nobody's going to find it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I like to simplify things. I like to make things easier and not even more complex than what they already are. Because I think that complexity is really getting in the way. And so no, I mean, business should be something fun, should be something that we get our joy from. If we have to, to have a headache every time we pronounce the name of something we have created. And I do not have a great memory. So for me, it's also easier to remember easiest names. Yeah.
And qualified leads is something we all could use in our businesses. If you have a business, qualified leads, oh man, instead of just having a bunch of random leads or the wrong leads, I think that qualified piece is so huge. And I'm so excited you created that. And I can't wait to join your community. So I will definitely get all of that information inside the show notes.
Thank you. Thank you. And you are so welcome to, to be with us.
So if someone were to walk away with something that lasted this moment, maybe this week, or a lifetime, what is that one thing from this interview that you want them to take with them?
So probably would be so this is something that we haven't talked about, but this is what comes to mind. So I would like to share that. Today I was talking to a client and she was telling me the empowering beliefs work that she's doing. This is something that she hasn't learned from me. It's something that she has learned from other previous coaches. And so I asked her what this work was about, and the energy behind what she was sharing was, in my opinion, not enough in order to be transformative. And so what I suggested her was to use, instead of affirmations, to use questions to ask herself. And those questions have a very specific way to be formulated. And for instance, instead of thinking an affirmation that could be, I have all the power in the world to get, I don't know, 10 qualified leads every day. Okay, that could be the affirmation. You can shift the energy of the sentence, changing the sentence in a question. And the question could be, why am I so powerful in getting 10 qualified leads every day? And this is very tricky for the mind, because what our mind does always, because that's its job, is to look for answers. So if we do not give questions to our mind keep giving us questions, because she wants us to find answers, to find proofs out there. So this is a tricky but so powerful thing. Every time you think about a statement that you want to affirm, instead of affirming it, change it into a question that starts with why, and that can create that kind of interest and engagement for your mind to stop throwing as it at you. And so it can actually proactively start finding the answers and the proofs outside to confirm that she is right. Because what she wants to do is to give you proofs that the question that you asked her is something that it is the truth, Yeah, so that's it.